please, for prompter. Okay, all right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Freund, the chairman of CCA's LGBTQ+ committee. Welcome to the third annual celebration of LGBTQ+ cinema and television, where we honor queer excellence in entertainment. From dysfunctional siblings and organized crime to queerness in the final frontier, to hunky hockey players finding hot, steamy love in a hopeless place at a lake house. There have been so many notable LGBTQ+ achievements in TV and film this past year, and we are more than excited to honor them, as well as legends like Jane Lynch, who have been blazing trails and breaking ceilings for our community for a long time.
Hi everyone, I'm Nunn from Windy City Times. I'm here all the way from Chicago, flew in last night. 4 years ago, I went to Joy Berlin, president of the CCA, and asked about having an LGBTQ+ celebration. He told me to form a committee, and here we are today. Thank you, Joey. I also want to give a shout out to Ed Martin, CCA's president. Ed is CCA's president of the television branch, who came all the way from Connecticut. I am proud and grateful to see all of you who took the time out to be part of our special event, especially to our honorees who provide narratives that allow queer people to see themselves reflected on both the big and small screens. So let's get the show started with our first presenter. You know from the hot new show, Margot's Got Money Troubles.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so honored and genuinely moved to be presenting this award to my very dear friend, Dearbhla Walsh. Yeah! Yeah! The Darv. What a treasure you are, really, honestly. I have had the joy of working with this incredibly, amazingly, breathtakingly talented director, not once, but twice. And I like to call it a testament to our creative partnership. Dearbhla calls it twice too many. She's Irish, you know. Takes a beetle to know a beetle. But she will tell you what she thinks, always. She gets what she wants when she's working. Dearbhla is a master storyteller who has the effortless ability to seek out the humanity and of every single character in every story she tells. She looks for that human touch. And once she finds the original tone of whatever it is she's making, and she will, God knows, she will find it. She will protect that tone fearlessly. There can be an abundance of comedy, but not without finding sort of the truth and the honesty and the humanity of all of the characters, which keeps it all grounded. When it's done well, obviously the arts is where we all turn to for love. And Dearbhla has made this a staple of her work. Audiences have used her visual touch and creative honesty to find joy, sorrow, love, pain, heartbreak, heartache, some of the most amazingly acclaimed shows on television, from Shameless to Handmaid's Tale to a little thing called Bad Sisters. She's no slouch. And now Margot's Got Money Troubles. This Emmy-winning director continues bringing stories to life that center on women and queer characters as fully realized, essential, truthful voices. In Margot's, written by David Kelly, she turns her eye to a very bold and timely story about a young lady trying to single mother trying to find an unexpected source of income in a little thing called OnlyFans. Kind of works out. Series stands as a sharp, fearless, and culturally resonant addition to her remarkable body of work. I love her, and I don't just say that because she finally found a way to have me marry Michelle Pfeiffer. Take a look at this. The Critics' Choice is pleased to present this year's Director Award to Dearbhla Walsh.
They said I won't be blinded by the light, but all together now. I won't be blinded by the light. Ooh, wow. Good afternoon, everybody. This is my first time on teleprompter, so this could go way down, 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 down. So thank you to Greg, my favourite funny man, who, as he said, I've not worked with only once, but twice. And with the comedy rule of threes, that means we have a lot of fun ahead of us. Yeah. So thank you also to the Critics' Choice Association. I'm genuinely, as we say at home, delighted and honoured to be here. Awards like this mean more than we sometimes admit, and they aren't just shiny objects to place on the mantelpiece, though I promise you I will be placing this for maximum effect of shininess. But they represent something bigger: visibility, storytelling, and the power of being seen. So thank you for recognising Margot's Got Money Troubles and the role that I have loved playing in it. I grew up in a conservative Catholic family in the west of Ireland, and I was a little late to the party in terms of coming out. My dad's response wasn't particularly supportive. Yes, he was prejudiced, and yes, he was unhappy about it, and yes, he was confused. He said, "People like us don't know people like that." Well, besides the obvious of his firstborn that sitting right in front of him, I remember thinking and finally having the confidence to say, "Dad, you absolutely know people like that. You've worked with us, socialised with us, you've seen us on film, and you watch us on TV." That moment with my father made me realise that representation isn't only about showing people that we exist, but also helping people to recognise that we've always been here. TV and film are especially powerful in that they help shape culture and what people think is normal. It has been my absolute privilege as a director to contribute to and create stories that make the invisible visible. Once something is visible, it becomes both harder to deny and easier to accept. So when young people see someone like them, like me, like you, like us, it sends the message: you are not an exception, you do belong. My father, sadly, passed away this Christmas, and my siblings and I have spent the last few months decluttering our home and preparing it for sale. And one of the many items I found was in my mother's bedside locker. No, I already said we're from a Catholic, large Irish family, so not that. So everybody's got a favourite bunny, don't they? So anyhow, it was actually a self-help book called Mothers of Lesbian Daughters, which really made us giggle, but it also really moved me. I read it as a message saying, even if she didn't fully understand how, in her own words, she had failed me as a mother, she was trying to understand, she was trying to learn, she was trying to reach and trying to help my father too. So finding it reminded me that families can evolve and that understanding can catch up with love. So too with my father, who welcomed my gorgeous partner Sarah and her son into his life. So too with conservative Catholic Ireland, who I'm very, very proud to say was the first country in the world to legalise same-sex marriage by popular vote. Back in 2015, I returned to the streets of my childhood and canvassed at the doors of my neighbours and school friends. It was both a very intimidating and profound experience for me. And in a funny way, today is an echo of that. Flying from Dublin to LA to receive this honour has challenged and moved me in ways that I hadn't imagined. It has made me realise that I should never take for granted how far I have come. Finally, I absolutely loved my time here in LA working in Margot's Got Money Troubles, not least because of my wonderful cast and crew. And I'd like to give a special shout out to my compatriots who are here celebrating with me today, to Stacey, to Caroline, and to Ash, and to gorgeous Greg too. And a special thanks and an I love you to my partner Sarah. Thank you for this honour. Thank you for the work that this award ceremony does in helping build a world that's a little braver, a little more honest, and one closer to a time where people cannot say, people like us don't know people like that. Because they do. They always have. And people like that never felt so good. Gurmila Magav Kaler.
Hold this one, sir. Hold up. You want to? Yeah.
I'll hold your thing.
This is like Lena. Thank you. Yeah. Man, thank you. Thank you all so much. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank you. It feels so good to be in this room. And I thank God for being seen. And Michelle, NK, Jamie, thank you so much for showing up for me. All of you, you have no idea what the experience is. I'm completely off of teleprompter right now, but the truth of all these roles and everything has been because throughout my entire career, I have been surviving. I have been just living and figuring it out, taking everything day by day and really embracing the people that come into my life and learning what I can. And the biggest gift from God was regardless of being seen in my real life or not, I was able to be seen on a bigger level and to speak many languages that I didn't know I could speak. And I was able to do that through these roles. And I'm so grateful for that. And I think the representation is so important. I don't have a huge coming out story. I kind of just always felt like I am who I am. I don't know if I'm like a stud or... All I know is my name was Bre-Z, which is not really true either, but my name is Kalisha, but that's the name I was given and I just ran with it. And just like the person that I was, I just went with it, you know. But I thank you for the hearts and souls of people like our writers, NK and Jamie, for embodying what that feeling may be or what the confusion may be. And it's the only way I've been able to land, you know, in the hearts of so many people, of just being honest, you know, with what it is. So I just want to say thank you and forget the teleprompter. I'm embracing this moment. Delana, thank you so much. My therapist is here. But to be honest, on screen, off screen, the walks are real. They are real, and I'm not afraid today to say that I needed that. I needed that support in you. Thank you. Because as many amazing things as I've been in my survival mode and my struggle, I've also been difficult to work with. And I've also been like, oh my gosh, she's in the mood today, you know what I mean? And for that, I'm deeply sorry to anybody that's experienced that. But I do love from the bottom of my heart, and I thank you. Thank you to the Critics Association. Thank you for honoring me. I love you all. We all are a work in progress, but thank you. It means so much. Thank you.
Hannah Einbinder and I met on season 1 of Hacks 6 years ago on the soundstage as we walked to my character Kiki's Rolls Royce to film our first ever scene together, the Lose You to Love Me car ride. It was love at first sight between us. Her undeniable talent has earned her numerous well-deserved flowers over the years, from a Critics' Choice Award to an Emmy. But what I love about Hannah, above all else, is the person she is off-screen. As a public figure, she has single-handedly elevated the status of the Silver Lake lesbian. think she has increased the sapphic energy of LA by about 500%. And I say that as a woman in STEM. I did the math. She has proven time and time again that you can be funny and also extremely hot. A tiny waist and a big butt. But the hottest thing about Hannah, to me, is the way she uses her voice and platform. You may be familiar with Hannah's outspoken stance on climate justice, with her calling out of CEOs and oligarchs whose greed is destroying our planet, with her unhidden contempt for AI, and with this past year, her highly vocal support for a free Palestine. On that last point, on Palestine, it takes immense bravery to speak out in an industry that has cowed many of our peers into complicity and silence. But it takes even more courage, determination, and humility to allow yourself to grow and change. These last 2.5 years, I have watched Hannah actively unlearn the stories she grew up being taught. I've witnessed her challenge ingrained belief systems upheld by the world's largest systems of power, and do the immensely difficult and vulnerable work of reshaping her worldview, all under the unforgiving eye of public scrutiny. And not only has she done the internal work, she's thrown her entire weight behind her advocacy for Palestine, undeterred by the backlash, the doxing, and the threats. In fact, doubling and tripling down with a steadfastness that moves me to tears. It is an understatement to say that I am honored to be presenting Hannah with this award. I love you, Han. I'm so proud of you, and you have the hottest heart.
Thank you, Poppy. I love you. It is such an honor to be family and comrades. Wow, I am so inspired being in this room, mostly by Bre-Z. I didn't know you were allowed to invite your therapist to stuff. Would have been doing that. That would be great. It's a good tip. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh my God, me with my therapist on the carpet? Wow. You're going, who's the actress? She's beautiful. She is, yeah, really something. Really grateful for her. Thank you so much to the Critics' Choice Association for this great honor. You know, as I look out into this room, I see the faces of so many people who have contributed to my ability to understand myself. And I stand here, and Ava exists because of you. And I am really honored to receive this award because I know firsthand the impact that visibility of queer folks can have on young people in a world that can be so violent and unkind. I'm so grateful to Paul W. Downs and Jen Statsky and Lucia Agnello for creating Ava Daniels. She is such a cherished character to me, and she is proof that yes, queer representation matters, but it is made that much more authentic when queer people are given the ability to author their own stories. She is truly authentic and one of a kind, and I'm so proud to feel represented by her. Of all of the things that I'm proud of in Hacks, it is the greatest honor of my lifetime to know that our show has created a place for queer people to bond and laugh and feel seen. My gratitude is endless. Thank you all so much.
We get to... I know we have some Dragula fans in the room, and I just want to say this. We love everybody here, but we love you just a little bit more. tend to be more beautiful, more fabulous. But honestly, and thank you. We do want to thank everyone for being here. It's just so cool to be surrounded by so many creative, gorgeous, imaginative, successful queer people, and it's just special to be a part of that. And of course, we want to thank the Critics' Choice Association for this recognition and these prestigious awards.
Yes, and of course we are here in drag in the middle of the day, so I hope that shows you how much it means to us.
Absolutely. When we started making our show, we got a lot of unsolicited advice. People were saying horror is too niche, drag is too niche, and queer art is way too niche. To combine all three would basically be career suicide.
So of course, that's exactly what we did.
And what makes this meaningful is we recognize reality TV as real creative storytelling. It's not just competition or drama or spectacle. It is those things, and we love that. But for us, it's about world building and about transformation and about giving young artists a platform to kind of rise up and become something bigger than themselves. So we want to thank all of our cast members for all of the years of the show. Thank them for bleeding and screaming and freezing and crying and vomiting and sometimes lip syncing, occasionally requiring emergency medical attention, but all for our entertainment.
Yes, your sacrifice has not gone unnoticed.
We also want to thank our crew, many of which are sitting at table 12. Thank you guys for everything, speaking of sacrifice. Our collaborators and our fans, thank you for understanding what we were trying to build long before the industry did, and you helped us bring our monster to life.
And here she is today, still dangerous, just as ugly and ever, and apparently award-winning.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darcy. It's so nice to finally meet you in person. No, fun fact, she's also my self-tape reader. So if you've ever had the privilege of watching my self-tape auditions, my reader is an Emmy nominee. So it's always fun to know she's giving the better performance. But truly, I am the luckiest person in the world. The day I met you is one of the greatest days of my life. I saw you perform, and I was like, who is that? I must be her friend, and you allowed me to be that. And anyway, sorry. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Okay, guys, I'm fucking nervous as fuck, okay? Like, I've been like talking about it all day. I'm like sweating so bad. This thing's gonna slip out and break. Sweating my topics off. You guys know? Anybody else? Okay. All my hairstylists are like, everybody gets them. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, good. No, but I truly, I'm the luckiest guy in the world that my favorite actress is also my best friend. So I'm here tonight because of a show called Ghosts. And all right, cool. And there's so many people to thank for that show being in existence. I feel so lucky to have a job, and the fact that it's this job is one of the most insane things in the world. So that starts with like CBS and BBC and Lionsgate and Paramount Plus and I don't know, Skydance now. Like, who do I work for? And whoever it is, this is for you. I can literally see my friends at my table, like, they're like, he's had 2 white wines and now he's at a microphone. You're like, fuck. Okay, how many times have I sweared? Okay, is it a lot? Okay, God, okay. So no, I do, at my table is some of my team, and I want to thank all of them at Mosaic and CAA and Viewpoint and my lawyer. We gotta love our lawyers. And they truly are just the best. They got me this job, and they kept me in this job, which is the nicest thing. I have wonderful family and friends like Doris that support me every single day. I'm so lucky for the community that I had, the one that I didn't know know I was ever going to get, and I somehow am lucky enough to have it. And also, specifically for Ghosts, I got to thank our showrunners, Joe and Joe, for putting together just the best, like, call sheet packed with names on both sides, all of whom are incredible at their jobs and far more deserving of a recognition than I am. But it's made by a bunch of wonderful Anglophones and Francophones up in Montreal, and we have great writers, directors, producers, designers, technicians that make up our crew, and especially the cast. That community that I've always wanted, I find in them. We eat lunch together every single day, guys. It's weird. We're 5 seasons in and we don't want to kill each other. But that's like the nicest thing in the world. Anyway, I love them so much. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much to the Critics Association. Not only for this nice recognition and for throwing this event, which is so great, but also for the work that you do, because criticism is a vulnerable craft, right? It has a Pulitzer Prize for a reason, because in addition to like the research and the analysis that you guys do, you also put out your opinion and your taste, and in doing that, you create conversations around art. And those conversations are super important to have, because I know that when I was growing up, I wanted to talk about film and TV and theater and books and movies, and that was the way I felt I could genuinely express myself in spaces where I didn't feel like I could authentically talk as who I was. So that was like a way of communicating, and I just want to give you a quick example. Is that when I was when growing up in Maryland, despite only being 29 years old, I was in high school. I wish that didn't get a laugh. Despite only being 29 years old, I did go to high school in the early 2000s, and I was, in fact, the only gay person in the state of Maryland. It's true, the census was like 1, unconfirmed. There was rumor that there was another, but I was like, where? Okay. So it was these conversations that I would have to talk about like film and TV that allowed me to feel expressive of who I really was. And one of the things that I kept a lot to myself, and I didn't really talk about that side of who I was. I locked it away. I'm sure a lot of you feel that. And then one day I was in biology class, and in my little lab group, this guy across from me said, did anyone catch Me and My Shadows, Life with Judy Garland, starring Judy Davis and Tammy Blanchard on TV the other night? And I was like, what? It was like when Ilya realizes Shane's in the club. It was like that moment of like, it was incredible. And the sound dropped out of the room, and I realized I wasn't alone anymore, because he took a chance. He talked about something he loved. He talked about media. He talked about it. And just this past year, that same guy took a weekend away from his husband and came and visited me in Montreal, where I shoot Ghosts, and we spent the weekend watching movies, the movies that we watched together growing up. And so thank you so much for your conversations about art. Thanks for inspiring those. None of this was on prompter, so I apologize, I was rambling. But, and thank you so much for sharing your taste. Clearly it's fabulous. Just kidding. Okay, bye.
Wow, it's such an honor to be standing in front of Jane Lynch right now. All right, here we go. I'm so honored and moved by this incredible honor from the Critics' Choice Association, so thank you. Being here this afternoon among so many storytellers, artists, advocates who all strive to make others feel understood and seen really does mean the world to me. I was 10 years old when we started filming Stranger Things, and here I am now, 21, so Will Byers and I basically grew up side by side for almost a decade, more actually. And then by the final season, portraying a narrative centered on identity and love, loneliness, and the experience of coming out in the 80s became a very personal and significant milestone for me. So then when I came out publicly at 18, I didn't realize how much Will's journey actually had been preparing me for my own. The vulnerability, the fear of how people perceive you, the desperate hope that the people you love will still see you the same way. I lived all of that very publicly, and I got through it because of my friends and my family who have loved me through all of it. And that support means everything to me. So So what I've loved most about Will's story was that it centered on hope and love, not just fear and pain. And he highlighted to us that the basic human need for belonging and connection is the most important thing, and it proves that there is profound strength in being honest about oneself, even when it does feel daunting and overwhelming. So Will, at the end of the day, has just wanted to feel seen and understood, which is in itself a story about love and the human condition. At its core, Stranger Things has always been about facing the dark together. Whether facing the upside down, the Demogorgon, fighting internal conflicts, I think the real message here is that fear is no longer powerful when you're not alone in facing it. So I want to express my gratitude to the Duffers for their care and compassion in telling the story, as well as our incredible cast, the crew, Netflix, Shannon, thank you for being here, my dad, my team, Steph, Annie, and to any young people still navigating their own identities. If Will's journey helped you feel even slightly less alone, then that is the highest honor I could achieve as both an actor and an advocate. So thank you.
See, they got money. We get a trophy each. I love it. Okay, kids, settle down. I mean, this is amazing. Look, as a little girl in England, watching American kids on my TV riding around on bikes and solving crimes, furious that my mother had left sunny Nigeria to give birth to me in East London instead of Melrose Place. Yeah, Melrose Place. Who doesn't want to live in an apartment building with a pool in the middle where you can fuck your neighbours? Anyway, sure. Is this on TV? This isn't on TV. I can say fuck. But, I mean... As a young black girl watching Star Trek, Lieutenant Uhura was my hero, representing me in a way I couldn't even fully understand yet, but I just knew that it gave me joy. And never in a million years did I dream that I would one day join the Star Trek universe as an alien, no less. A new species of alien, a fierce, loyal, angry, funny, did I say angry? Really angry alien who is unapologetically and fearlessly herself in a world where nobody cared that she was blue, covered in spikes, and in a relationship with a human woman. This is a world that Star Trek is and always has been about, right? Call it diverse, call it woke. I hope to one day just call it regular. You know, as someone who remained in the closet until I was 40, through the fear of rejection of my own family. I mean, when I came out to my mother and told her that I was going to be a comedian, I thought I might as well tell her I'm gay as well. Just tell her I'm gay, tell her I'm a vegan, just give it, just do the whole thing. And she was like, what? You are a gay clown? Oh my God. You don't eat meat and you don't eat meat. Oh my God. Anyway. I was fearful of that rejection and the rejection of the industry that I was trying so hard to break into, until one day I finally said, you know what, fuck it, they can take me or leave me. And I started living my true self. But that wasn't until I was 40. And watching young actors like Kerrice and Karim being able to be their full selves this early in life gives me so much hope and a shitload of envy. But a lot of hope, a lot of hope. And we gotta fight. We gotta fight to keep that. We must fight to not let everything, you know, that people fought and died for to be in vain. We gotta fight to not let a minority of small, frightened dinosaurs handmade us back into a past of hate and subjugation. Yeah, I just made Handmaid's Tale a verb. I'm doing it, I'm doing it. I our stories need to be told. And so I want to thank Alex Kurtzman, Noga Landau, Gaia Violo, all the rest of the producers, cast, crew, who brought this amazing show to life and trusted me with that character. I want to thank the Critics' Choice for this honor. My first Hollywood trophy, baby. I love it. And I want to thank, last of all, I want to thank the fans, the true Trekkies, who have renewed my belief in humankind with their kindness and their gifts, because Trekkies give the best gifts. They are truly creating the world that we want to see. Obviously, Tig is not here tonight. She couldn't be here. She sends her apologies, and we miss her dearly, and I will be taking her trophy home. She'll have to pry it out of my dead hands. But thank you all so very much. Live long and prosper.
Ooh, y'all, I'm 6'2". Can you raise that up, please? Okay, it's okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, so being cast in Star Trek was one of the most exciting moments of my entire life, because this is my very first series regular role on television. Thank you. Yeah, I never did nothing like this before, y'all. I'm still very new to this industry. I quickly learned that when you're playing an openly gay character in one of the most beloved franchises in the world, there are a lot of opinions and a lot of noise. After reading comments on the internet, I cannot lie. There were moments when I doubted myself, found myself wondering whether I truly belong here or if this industry will make space for somebody that looks like me. Then a few days ago, I attended my very first Star Trek convention in Germany. Hundreds of fans, if not thousands, many of them LGBTQ+, came up to me in person and shared what it meant to see themselves reflected in this universe. Some of them emotional, some of them crying. I was like, oh my God, baby, don't cry, it's okay. And in those moments, I realized representation is not politics. It is not a trend. It is the simple act of telling people that they belong. Thank you, Critics' Choice, for reminding me why this work matters. Anai, I love you so much for being my best friend and keeping me strong when I'm most nervous. Alex and Noga, I couldn't have dreamed of better showrunners. I love you both so much. Thank you.
One more. Hi, guys. I really don't have too much to say, and Grandma don't got her glasses on, so I really can't read this shit. But all I really wanted to say is a massive thank you. This is the most insane journey, and they're waiting for me to actually say it. Go ahead, keep scrolling. I'm so sorry, guys. It's been the most insane journey. Queerness is also an insane journey, so I feel like to be honored here, really means a lot, and I just want to, I feel like represent the queer ancestors that we have that didn't get a chance to be honored and that didn't get a chance to feel seen. I just really want to honor them. Thanks, guys. Well, they thank you. And I want to say thank you to the producers of Trek. Beyond the work, they absolutely saved my life. Canada will try to kill you. It's really cold up there, and almost took a girl out, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really thankful to them. I'm really thankful to Tawny, to Gaia, to Noga, of course to my parents, and I want to thank God for making me gay. Stay gay, stay freaky, and thank you guys.
Thank you, Janine. You're my favorite person in the world to work with and to love. And I'd like to thank lens crafters. so I can see what the hell I'm saying. Thank you for those words, and thank you for saying all of the words that I begged you to say. I thought there were going to be a couple other sections, but that's okay. Hello to all you queer humans, and to the rest of you, it's just a matter of time. Thank you to the Critics' Choice Association for this award. I first want to also thank the Burbs. The Burbs, including Celeste Huey, who created it. She's fabulous. And yes, and Imagine, and Fuzzy Door, and Peacock. God, I've just been having a blast being a retired military lesbian with a jaunty bob. Who wears very little makeup. So I'm like 2 minutes in the makeup trailer. I'm like, great. I'll butch out and I'll get a little more sleep. I really love being a trailblazer, even though I've never really been on a trail. Except one time when I was trying to find a Little Caesars. I want to thank the critics for their positive reviews of my career. They've given me a lot of encouragement, and I would also like to thank them for their negative reviews, because I've used them to become better at what I do. It's really been helpful. Thank you very much. What's up, Gerald? I think you said she's like Melissa McCarthy had just come out of a coma? Thank you, Gerald. Oh, hi, Marcia. Paula Pell's performance is as embarrassing as a fart in a one-night stand. Fuck off, Marcia. I am so proud of being a big old lesbian. And when I say big, I'm not referring to my weight, but the impressive size of my ass. There's one table that's familiar. Yes. It is a big, wide, flat ass. I've always loved writing and portraying so many LGBTQ plus characters in my career because that's what I know deeply. And as a person who spent many years closeted, waiting out so many rights and freedoms, I know how good it is to feel and breathe in that delicious air of living truthfully. I can feel that air being breathed in tonight. Everyone is talking about that air. And I know the importance of creating characters and shows and stories that remind us that we are brilliant, tender, funny, resilient humans deserving of everything. And that includes trans people. And we as a community, and myself who has enjoyed, Janine and I have a farm in upstate New York with a bunch of animals, and Janine named it Breastchester, and we are living the life. And, sometimes somebody thinks I'm her mom, but we have a very good life. But this community should never stop fighting until all of us know the exhale of living our truth. Every single one of us. So no matter how teemingly full the diaper of these dark days appear right now, keep moving, keep creating, and there will be that glorious sunlit clearing, and we will find that fucking Little Caesars. Pizza, pizza. I love you very much.
It is my honor to present Jane Lynch with the Groundbreaker Award.
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around a...
Thank you. Please keep your seats, for God's sake. So I'm really deeply moved by this, and that was wonderful. Thank you, David, so much. To all of the critics in the room, thank you for being fans of television, and of course for putting together this wonderful and extraordinary event. To my fellow honorees today, I am so proud to share the stage with all of you. Noah, oh, you're amazing. And I'm excited to be standing in front of you talking. Oh my God. Yeah, you're amazing. I never felt like I was doing anything brave by being a person who's out of the closet in our business. And for that, I need to thank some women so iconic we need only say their first names. Ellen, KD, Melissa, Rosie. The ladies who used a machete to clear the way so I could just stroll down the primrose path. I want to thank Fox Television and all the lovely Fox ladies there at the table, Ryan O'Dowd, everybody at the BBC studios for being here today with me and for trusting me to helm the US version of Celebrity Weakest Link. I cannot thank you enough for allowing this 6-foot lesbian of American corn-fed descent to give it her best shot. And thank you to our wonderful producer, Stuart Krasnow, who is a lovely human being, and yet the voice in my earpiece that gives me snarkier lines than I could ever come up with, so thank you, sir. But now I must go back in time just a bit, because I can't talk about me without talking about Glee, that groundbreaking show. The world of Glee had gay kids, straight kids, a kid in a wheelchair, kids who looked like they were in their early 30s, kids of every color, shape, and size congregating in the safety of the choir room to raise their voice in song. So a very special thank you again to Fox TV for airing it, and to Ryan Murphy for creating the magic that was Glee and handing me the role of a lifetime. I think the reason kids continue to watch Glee even in these days is because Glee makes a kid feel seen, and that is everything to me. I have 3 planets in Cancer, you guys. I'm all about the kids. As I look around at all of your beautiful faces in this room, I am reminded that just beneath the ways we are different, we share our humanity. And I'm so glad that we're in this together. Thank you, I love you all, and I do hope you enjoyed the chicken. Thank you, have a good day.
Tell me not to live just...
Before we wrap up, let's give a huge round of applause to today's producers, Madeline Harris. LGBTQ plus stories and storytellers. Please join us for the after party in the garden hosted by Latin Nation Media. Come enjoy more fancy drinks. Thank you to Milagro Tequila, delicious desserts, and music from our live DJ. So stick around, join us in the garden.